Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my video all about the law of attraction. I have been implementing this concept into my everyday life, and it's absolutely transformed the way in which I think, the way I live my life, and generally everything about my life. So I can't believe it's taken me this long to do a video on this topic. If you want to hear more about how implementing the law of attraction has really changed my life completely and taken me to heights that I never could have imagined myself, then you definitely want to keep watching. So it's likely that if you clicked on this video, you probably know a little bit about the law of attraction, but in case you don't, which is perfectly, normal, the law of attraction, I suppose, can be easily summed up by the sentence, thoughts become things, and what you predominantly think about is what you attract and manifest in your life. Now, I first became aware of the law of attraction when I read a book called The Secret. The book became really popular around 2012. There was a real big buzz about it on the internet and social media. And I think the first person I came across who was talking about the law of attraction was Roxy. She used to present 106 in Park, and she was reading the book and she kept posting pages on her Instagram feed. And I was really intrigued because it all seemed quite positive, quite uplifting, and at the time I was very much getting into positivity. So I was like, I'm intrigued. So I bought the book, read it, absolutely fell in love with it, bought the audiobook, listened to that every day since, almost, and then I watched the movie on Netflix as well, which is basically the audiobook but videos, you see people talking about it. But the whole concept behind the book The Secret is that it sort of brought the law of attraction to life for me. So the concept is that your predominant thoughts determine the direction and the trajectory of your life. Really tricky word. And by that I mean, if you think positive thoughts and if you have a positive outlook, then you're likely to attract back a positive outcome. So let's take something really simple like your day. If you wake up in a really positive and grateful mood and you're very much looking forward to just attacking the day in the best way possible, then you're likely to attract back a day that reflects everything that you were hoping for. And what the law of attraction and the book The Secret really alerted me to was the fact that we really do have to be more aware of our thoughts and the things that we let take over our mind. If you think about it like a glass of water, if you have a glass of water and you continue to fill it with dirt, eventually the water is going to become really cloudy. And it doesn't matter how much water you continue to put in, if there's dirt in there, the water is never really going to be pure. Whereas if you have a glass of water and you continue to put in fresh filtered water, it will be just that. It will be clear and it will be pure. And I think the same thing goes for your thoughts. If you think bad things, if you think negatively, if you always look on things and expect the worst to happen, the worst will happen. And it also translates to how you think about yourself. What really made it stand out to me is it kind of talks about whatever you think about yourself, whatever you say about yourself will become true and is true. And I think I very much was a person who tended to doubt myself or not believe in myself, particularly as it pertains to my YouTube channel and the success that I would see. And I was always kind of thinking, there's always going to be somebody who's bigger and better than me, and I maybe will never get to the kind of numbers that I would hope that I would have gotten to. And, it's probably not my thing, it's never going to work as well for me. And I had to stop myself at a certain point and say, if I keep saying all these things, then those are the things that are going to keep presenting themselves to me. That is going to be my reality. So I say completely, it wasn't overnight, but through reading the book The Secret, through listening to the audiobook, through watching the film, through reading loads of other books that kind of talked about the law of attraction, I was able to almost recalibrate or shift around or just completely change my way of thinking about myself and my life and the people in my life. And I saw a really positive impact in almost everything. The first time I really noticed the law of attraction actually working was my first sort of proper corporate marketing job. And it's not a job that I ever saw myself kind of getting. I'm sorry, the sun's just setting a little bit. But I said to myself, you have to think positively. You have to think like this job is yours. So for a week leading up to my interview and just a few days after it, I didn't think any negative thoughts. I kind of went into the whole situation, the interview, the assessment, after the interview, thinking that this job is mine. This job was meant for me. Nobody else is going to get this job. They're going to call me and say, we'd like you to start on X day. And it happened. And I was surprised, but at the same time I wasn't surprised, because it's really simple. You think something, you act accordingly, and there's no reason why it shouldn't come to pass. I am a Christian, as you guys may know, may or may not know, and so it very much fits with my beliefs. Ask and you will receive. Whatever you bring to the Lord in prayer, He will bring to you in the form of whatever it is that you've asked for. So that was the first instance of it really working in my life. The next instance was in buying my house. Now, it was a very long process, and there were very many houses we went to see, and we were first time buyers, so we didn't know whether we'd be able to achieve it or not, but I just said to myself, this must happen for us. And I started that in March. Like, I was just going to view houses. I had no savings. I say 0 savings. I was living at home with my parents, and, you know, I was earning a certain level of income, which was good because I had a lot of disposable money because I wasn't paying rent, really. But I had no savings. I didn't know what my credit rating was. I didn't know if the banks would lend me any money. Who was I to kind of say, oh, I'm going to get a mortgage and I'm going to get on the property ladder? But I was just like, there's no reason why I can't. And that was March. By the end of September, we were moving into our first 3-bedroom home. Gorgeously, like, finished house in a really nice area, and I might have said that this is not something that I could physically manifest in my life. Shortly before that, I was looking for a new car because I knew we were going to be moving outside of London, and again, I knew, you know, I hadn't moved yet, we hadn't got a house yet, but I just knew in my mind. In the beginning, it feels like you're tricking your mind, or you're lying to yourself, or you're forcing yourself into a false sense of belief in something, but the longer you do it, the more it becomes like the truth. This is definitely going to happen, and there's absolutely no doubt about it. I was looking for a new car, sorry, back to that, and I have always wanted to drive a really nice car. Now, everyone's definition of nice is different, but my first car was a Mini Cooper, and I wanted my second car to be, you know, a good sort of step up from that. But at the time, I was like, oh, I haven't been driving for a while, don't know if I can really afford a nice car, whatever. But I said to myself, you can only drive a nice car because that's what you want, and naturally that's what you're going to get. And a few days later, Mr. Man pointed out to me that BMW were doing, you know, a really good deal on their sort of 1 Series, where you could get one from a monthly payment of like £279 a month. And I was like, oh my gosh, a BMW from £279 a month, are you kidding me? So jumped on that, and before you know it, like months later, I was driving out of the showroom in Canary Wharf in my brand new 1 Series BMW car, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, and just to give you guys a bit of background, I don't come from an affluent family or anything like that. My parents worked very hard to keep a roof over our head and put food on the table, but I grew up in a very inner city area, I will say. It was a council estate in southeast London, and I had a very modest upbringing. My parents were just very values driven, very discipline oriented, and they just helped us to realise the value of hard work. So everything I've achieved in my life has not come as a result of handouts from my parents. It's come from sheer hard work and belief in the law of attraction later on in my life. When it comes to moving into this house and getting the job, that my dream job, which I'm now doing, which is blows my mind, it was as a result of me really becoming practiced in the art of thinking things into existence, which is a really good way of describing law of attraction. I thought into existence working for a big firm. I thought into existence buying the house of my dreams even closer to London, which is this house. Like, my first house was a great start home, really beautiful home, but it's a home for a family. And it wasn't as modern and contemporary as I would have wanted. But this house right here, I could see myself living here for years and years and years and never moving, provided the family doesn't expand, if you know what I mean. But I remember when, and I will be very candid with you guys, when I first saw this house on the market, I fell in love with it, showed it to Mr. Man, and he was not feeling it at all. He outright said, I will not move into that house because I don't like the surrounding area or whatever. Here we are. I didn't let that deter me. I said, well, cool, you don't want to move here, that's fine. I came to view the house when viewings opened up. He was like, I don't know why you're going to view it because, you know, we're never going to move there. I was like, alright, cool. I went to view it anyway. Went to view it a second time. And the second time I went to view it, I came home saying, we will live in that house because I cannot let that place go to somebody else. So I went back and said, we're going to have to make an offer on that property. And don't get me wrong, there was a very long, drawn-out process getting him around to see my way of thinking. But I think it is a decision that has benefited us, definitely, because we were able to realise the value in our last place and put it into buying this place, which hopefully will appreciate even more in value because it's closer to London and it's just a beautiful home. So there's that, there's my job, which you guys have heard all about in like previous videos, but it's the job that I have always sort of worked towards in my marketing career, and I cannot believe that I'm doing it now. So the sky is the limit when it comes to the law of attraction. And on a final note, and it's not something I'm sure if I would announce yet, but in the new year I will be getting a new car, and this car is my dream car. Like, it is the epitome of everything I've always dreamt about as far as my car. It's the model of car that I've always wanted. I'm not going to tell you any more about it until I physically get the email that says this is the collection date, but they've given me an estimated delivery date, it's ordered, it's all done, and this is not me in any way bragging or anything like that. It's just me simply trying to bring you guys examples of, you know, the law of attraction in action. It's a combination of that, but I think the law of attraction dovetails really nicely into Christianity and, you know, being close to God and praying for everything that you really want, or praying what's on your heart, and, you know, asking with an open heart and, you know, an honest heart, and God delivering to you what is rightfully yours. And, you know, if you believe something is rightfully yours, then 9 times out of 10, to be honest, it either is or it really isn't. And, you know, God's got something even better in store for you. So I urge you all, if you want to find out more about this, and you've probably seen bits and bobs about this on the internet, on TV and films, seen other celebrities talking about it, but I would say read The Secret, or get the audiobook. It's available on iBooks, and I think that's actually, if you're not one who's that into reading, then I'd say that that's probably a better way to go about it. But it's such a good read. It's so uplifting. It's so full of positive stories and accounts of people implementing this change in their thinking and their lives and really seeing drastic change. So I've seen it in my life. I'm only going to continue to implement it, and I strongly suggest that you guys do too. It covers relationships, your health and your weight, which as a woman, and probably as a man as well, is a big area of uncertainty, and it can cause a lot of stress. It covers career, it covers money, it covers relationships, all sorts, and it tells you how you can implement the law of attraction in all those different areas of your life to just start living the life that you want to lead. If I'm not enough living proof of that, then read the book and you'll get plenty more stories from people who are just living their dreams right now. You can have everything you want in life. All you have to do is believe that it can be yours. If you approach something thinking it's never going to be possible, then fate will have it that it won't ever be possible. But if you approach something thinking, I'm going to have this, and you just keep working towards it and living your life as if it's already here, it's only a matter of time before it is. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you want more videos on positive thinking, the law of attraction, anything like that. Hit the red button and I will make it my conscious effort to give you more and more videos along those lines, because I think life is just so much better when everyone's happy, right? I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!